Vent session.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? It's Kid Smooth, and this is what you would call an immediate reaction. We didn't need time to digest this one.
That thing's already coming out the ass.
Kid said, we got to do a video now.
Yeah, it was straight from the party onto the Google Hangouts. We had to do one. So, before we go in, this is my first time having Mike, Melissa in the house.
What's up?
Next Level Gaming. What's up?
It's a pleasure.
And my Xbox Live buddy, Jez, and Twitter pal, Jez. How you doing?
What's up, man? How you doing? Jez7780 at Twitter.
All right, and you guys know who I am. All right, so if I look like I just woke up and I got drool on the side of my face, it's because Bethesda's press conference had an instant effect quicker than NyQuil. So, and I'm trying to recover. I'm trying to stay awake. Man, what do you got? How did Bethesda go from the quote-unquote arguably the best showing last year to what we got today?
I can tell you in one word, actually 2 words, 3 words. Let me put it in 3 words. Quake PC only. When they showed that, I nearly jumped out of my, because I knew Quake was coming. I had a feeling that we were going to get it, and then I got all excited, and then they said PC, and I'm like, you got to be kidding. What?
Yeah, I can't believe nowadays with the success that they had with Doom cross-platform and even Fallout, just to do a PC with Quake. I know that's what the audience was. But.
Well, not just that, but Quake 4 was an Xbox 360 game.
Yep, it was a launch game.
Yep, launch game. Yep.
It was like the only good multiplayer because there was Perfect Dark, which was pretty decent, and then Call of Duty was broke at launch with 360.
But you know what's crazy? You know what's the crazy thing? If somebody would just tell you on paper what the Bethesda announced, you would hear Skyrim remaster, new Quake, you would hear Dishonored 2, a Fallout related game,
and Prey.
And Prey, and you would think, oh my God, that is a freaking grand slam. But somehow, I was not impressed with the show at all. It's like, I don't, and the thing is, where can we start? All right, so you did touch up on Quake. Quake, it was like, oh shit, we were expecting, all right, you have Doom now, it's only right to make Quake, right? So we're like, all right, let's bring it. And then, they get Quake Champion. Okay, all right, so it's probably multiplayer only. Oh, it's going to be 120 hertz. Oh, this is PC only.
Right.
So it's like half the wind just went out because half the people that's anticipating it was expecting this to be another console plus PC title, and I'm sorry, PC only games are cool, but they're not gonna nobody's rushing out at midnight for them. So that was kind of a buzzkill.
And they didn't show gameplay of it either.
No.
So you don't even know what it's going to look like at 120 frames. It's going to probably look good, but they didn't show gameplay. And I think the biggest difference what they did with these games is that last year they came with gameplay and they detailed it. I know they did it with Fallout. They did it with Doom as well. They just kind of dropped trailers, and the gameplay they showed was Dishonored. Everything else was a trailer. Gameplay of a card game, they had that.
Oh my God.
Okay, so
I need to see that shit.
That's where the problem lies.
Yes.
So what people were expecting were, Quake, like I said, until they announced it was PC only, Quake was, hot. But they had too many games. They built everything around 2 games last year, really, Fallout 4 and Elder Scrolls Online and Dishonored, which they didn't show much of. So this year, they had to show Dishonored again because they didn't show enough of it last year. They're continuing to show Elder Scrolls Online, and then they dedicated time to the card game, and they dedicated time to Fallout DLC, which they could have honestly just put out. It was build your own vault and contraptions. That could have been just a video. So I think what happened was they got is second year sophomore slump. I mean,
Yep.
and don't get me wrong, and not for a lack of trying. And I'm biased because Bethesda's in my backyard. I'm like an hour from them, and I've known Pete Hines for a very, very long time. I worked with him as far back as the Sega Dreamcast. Like, as far as his presentation goes, the presentation was fine. The problem is they didn't have anything to show that people, I think, really wanted to see, which was a new Wolfenstein. Somebody had said they wanted to see a new Evil Within, which you didn't see. They had to go back, and they ended up showing stuff that they showed last year. And when you do that, you get yourself into a rut.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
come
you
on,
know,
that woman in the front row that went berserk when they were talking about Elder Scrolls Online. Come on.
Yep. They muted her ass quick because she was yelling the whole time.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, she must be like all dressed up and all excited and stuff. That's great, but like that game is, I don't know. And also the DLC, you're right. It was for Fallout was very. It looked like Little Big Planet meets Fallout. Like I don't know, is that what people want in that? Especially you can't share it online. Like who wants to just build worlds that you can just take a photo of and upload it? Like you
Right.
want people to walk around and check out your creative stuff. Like that's why I never got into it because I'm like, why am I building this for what? So I go, yeah, that's great, and then turn it off. Like.
And this is where I was always curious. The thing is that it was understandable for Bethesda to have a conference last year, even though they are a growing publisher. They published so many games over the past couple of years. The thing is, last year it made sense because they had an atomic bomb in their back pocket, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I felt like, since this year's E3, I was like, well, what could Bethesda possibly show? If it's not a new Elder Scrolls, like a new game, I don't know what they can possibly do to impress anyone. Because they don't really have much. I was expecting when I predicted they were going to show a Quake game. I didn't expect like multiplayer PC only. I expected like what they did with Doom rebooted. That's what I expected, and I would have been satisfied with that. But I felt like in the stuff that they did show was long, dragged out, and it didn't do anything to make anyone excited for the game. Matter of fact, some of their presentations turned people off. At least it turned me off from the game. Like I am not looking forward to Dishonored just because I felt like it wasn't presented to me right.
Yeah.
Which is weird because the whole conference was 45 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. It was, I mean, they're really, I think, what were we talking about? 2 new games and 3. I mean, between that and EA, that together is going to be one of Microsoft's or Sony's single conferences tomorrow. Think about that.
Yeah, and what I'm done with E3, and I know this is what they do, I am sick of seeing new games and just show me some CGI trailer, and I'm supposed to go get excited about it. Like, the new games that you mentioned, Prey, the Quake, they're all with CGI. There was nothing that was new. Like, it was all just a CGI trailer, which, yeah, there's concepts in there, but that's not what I'm going to be playing. And they should came with more gameplay for those games. I think that's where a lot of the lack of excitement got, because there was not the gameplay of the new stuff. It was all just, here's the old stuff and we're adding some stuff to it.
And that's. And I feel like, because when we seen Doom last year, that was the first time we seen Doom as well, right?
Yes.
Yes, it was the first time we saw Doom, and they showed single player, they showed multiplayer, and they showed Snap Map. We discussed it. They showed it to everybody.
And Jess said something in the party chat while we were watching that I tweeted out. Could you please?
Now I forgot. So much just happened. What happened? So much anger.
You said so. This is pretty much thank you for buying all our games.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's what. You're right. Now, thanks for reminding me. Yes, it was like, let's get everybody here and let's say a big thank you, which is nice, but they could do that on Twitter. They have to get everybody there in a conference room and just say, like, thanks for playing, but here's some trailers for new stuff. Like, they're there to present their new stuff, their portfolio, and celebrate gaming. But I just think it's kind of lackluster when you just rehash last year's stuff and just add things to it, which is nice that they're showing support for those games, but show the support, but also show us the new games. Like E3 is for the new stuff, and I want to see gameplay. I don't want to see trailers.
Well, the problem with that is that there is too much new stuff that is so far out in development that
That's what I fear.
they don't have a choice.
Yep.
So, and it's amazing that nothing. Well, now we know really why nothing leaked out of this conference. There really wasn't much there.
It's making me very upset for E3.
Yeah, and now there's like it's like now with this is pressure on anybody to like deliver, or is it less pressure? I don't understand. It's like EA, they gave us what we expected, but nothing exciting at all. And then Bethesda, which we thought, it was a solid showing, but it was nothing that you're going to remember years to come. There's nothing that you're going to be talking about. Hell, you might not even buy any of the games other than a Skyrim remastered at the end of this year. So
yeah, that was the gameplay. It was Skyrim remastered and Dishonored 2. That's what they have for this year, and whatever DLC. And Dishonored 2 gameplay. I don't know if we could get into it, but that looked kind of very choppy.
Yeah, it was a technical. I don't want to say a technical nightmare because we've definitely seen worse, but
it wasn't that bad.
It was really jumpy here and there. Some of us was watching from different streams.
Yeah,
we were sitting there trying to make an excuse. Well, it's the stream. Oh no, I'm watching this stream. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. June, July, August, September, October. That's 5 months away. This is launching November 11th.
Oof.
It is 5 months away.
Day.
And it was that. This is, I'm not. You can. I don't go into the arguments about resolution and stuff, but I'll have discussions about frame rate with anybody, and I'm telling you, man, if that's what you're gonna get coming out of that, wow.
Well, they changed the art style. They changed that from Dishonored 1. So that's another thing where I don't know if that's going to bring everybody over from Dishonored 1. And then and now they added 2 characters similar to like how Assassin's Creed did last year. And they have different abilities. The time jump looked awesome. I know we were talking about that. Like, that looked awesome. That should just be a whole game, like where they hold up this portal device and jump at the scene in the history and in the future. And they could go back, kill somebody, and then jump back out of time. Which, that's awesome. That should just be a game by itself. I don't think it should just be... I think it might be scripted, just in certain levels.
That's why you said, when you said that in a party, which was interesting, you said that it's interesting, but it might be scripted. You can't just pull that out at, like, any time during a game.
Yeah, it might be just when you're that character, or on that character on a certain level, or maybe it's a thing that happens later on. But it doesn't... Because I thought Dishonored was, like, open world, and this does look... Is it more linear, the second one? The Dishonored 1 was open. Wasn't it open world, or was
it
like
more of a hybrid?
They drop you off in an area, then you get in any way you want.
Yeah, that's
and the collector's edition.
Which I don't think is worth the shit, honestly. I don't think Dishonored's worthy of a collector's edition. I don't think a lot of games are worthy of a collector's edition.
I totally agree with you. Like the mask of a character who I don't know, who you just showed me, and he wears this mask. It looks like Terminator. I don't know who this is, and I'm like, why would I want that standing here? But it's not even somebody from the first game. Like, I don't think he had this mask.
I can't. Yeah, I don't think so.
It was like Terminator.
It's just.
It was. They needed. But do you think? Let me ask you guys. Do you think if they would have ended instead of with Dishonored 2, but they said, "Hey, Elder Scrolls like CGI trailer," and then shut the curtains off? Do you think that would have redeemed them?
No, I think Quake would have been the ender. I would have put Quake at the end.
They could have closed either with Quake or with Skyrim. I would have opened. Honestly, I would have opened with Dishonored.
Yes, that's what I thought they were gonna do.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Because Prey is made from they split the Arcane team up, right? And he started to talk about Dishonored, but then he's like, all right, but this is what I was working on. I felt like if it was reversed, talk about Dishonored. And then say, well, here's what I had been working on, and then showed us Prey, you know what I mean? It would have built up. I feel like maybe, what they showed itself wasn't bad, but, I feel like the order of things wasn't the greatest. And I feel like even if they like move things around and flipped it, if you close with if you would have, they could have closed with Prey, they could have closed with Quake, or they could have closed with Skyrim, and I think that would have gave them a better show.
Was Prey with gameplay? Was that gameplay in Prey, or was that like CGI?
No, man, it was CGI, man.
Okay.
That coffee looked realer than the coffee in my house, man.
Well, no, not after the coffee, but then when he was like shooting, like
let me tell you, that game will have gameplay at next year's Bethesda conference.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to, you know, I had a discussion on Friday night on my last podcast. We were doing our E3 predictions, and we were talking about what we thought Microsoft was going to start and end with. And Randall Thor said that he expected them to open with Gears 4 and end with something else. I had argued that I think they're going to end with Gears. And I think they're going to, and now I'm starting to believe it even more, because even though I don't agree with it, I understand why they ended with Dishonored 2. That's their fall game. That needs to be the thing most fresh in people's mind, and that's what they need to walk out going, holy crap, I need this game in the fall, especially wrapped around the killer fall we're going to have. Mm-hmm. So I think that actually solidifies my thought that tomorrow you can bank on ending with Gears 4.
They're not going to end with Gears 4. They're not.
No? I bet you they will for the same reason.
There's two reasons. There's two reasons. Because here's the thing. If you think last year, Microsoft ended with Gears 4. Mm-hmm. For the first time, we've seen it playing. Like, holy crap, we didn't expect it to be running. And then Microsoft generally opens the show with their premiere game that year. Like last year, they opened with Halo.
Yeah.
And it only makes sense to open up with your premiere.
Guys do shows differently than the software. Like Sony and Microsoft, I think, have a little bit more like teases or bangs at the end. I don't think everybody does it as much. I think they do more so. But like Bethesda, like what did they end last year on? They ended on.
Dude, we don't remember.
Dishonored 2. Was it Dishonored 2? They opened with Fallout. Then
I think they end with.
I think they ended with Dishonored 2. Okay, I want to see if I can check it. I don't know.
Otherwise, the only other thing I could think they could have ended on was Doom.
No, they had it in the middle of the show because they went into it.
Honestly, I don't remember much after freaking.
I thought it was Dishonored 2.
No, they ended with Fallout.
They did?
Yeah, they ended it with Fallout 4 because Todd Howard was the last.
Oh, you're right, but they dragged that out though. That was like they did a demo.
That was here's our worst kept secret in the world.
Yes, but it wasn't like just a bombshell. Like he dropped it, but then they just went into it. Like it showed demo gameplay, and like that took the rest of the show.
Yeah, but that's what that's definitely what they ended with. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they may. Tomorrow will be very interesting. I think the bar has been set very low for tomorrow.
Yeah, I think the bar was set super high, and I think everybody just put us in check today.
Well, that's what see, and that's the problem. I'm guilty of that too, because this is the point where I go, man, I wish I was there. Man, I miss being there. I miss these conferences. I spent all week on the NLG Twitter feed tweeting out my old pics of E3, and days have passed, and here I am going, all right, well, you know what? I'll live through everybody else who's going there, and today was just a big myth.
The only problem, here's the thing, between, my expectations, but the thing is, my expectations for E3 is always high for some damn reason.
Because it's supposed to be the Super Bowl of video gaming.
It is.
True. And the thing is, I feel like between the leaks and between like the way that the dreadful, boring conferences to start, and all these trailers that came out, I feel like there's nothing left for me to be impressed with at E3 tomorrow. But when the big guns show, honestly, I don't even know what to expect honestly from Microsoft, because I feel like I've pretty much seen their whole show. And Sony, I think they have VR coming around the corner. What are they going to show outside of VR? You know, I just
Yeah.
really don't know.
I just think the two ones they could do is just Last of Us 2
But,
and God of War 4. Those are God of
yeah,
War, whatever.
I
God
think
of War. God of War's coming. They have to show, well, like everybody else who's shown nothing last year, they have to show Last Guardian. So expect to see
Yes.
Last Guardian.
I
Expect
think
to
I
see
think
Horizon.
I think this is the year that like Ubisoft defaults into a win. Like
What,
literally,
with Watch Dogs 2? Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
yeah. I
Yeah,
feel like
but they already revealed Watch Dogs 2. That's not even a surprise anymore.
yeah,
No.
but there's other elements they could show in the game that they didn't show in your docu
The
trailer.
multiplayer. Oh goodness.
We could be all reminded about For Honor. The new Ghost Recon game is probably going to be
Yep.
super impressive and whatnot. There's a couple things they can do. They can announce a Ubisoft Access that's cheaper than EA Access. Who knows, man? Like
Yeah, Watch Dogs is another November game, is it, or is it end of October?
that's a November game.
Mm,
Yeah, but October and November is already packed.
yeah, I don't, I'm just like I just think Dishonored and even Watch Dogs 2. I think those guys are good spring games. They like Watch Dogs was in the middle of the springtime that came out, and that was Success also was like the first like kind of next gen game,
It
even
was
though it didn't look like
crazy.
that.
A lot of these games that are coming out in the fall that came out in the spring when they first came out. Watch Dogs was a spring game.
Yeah.
Titanfall was a spring game.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, like, yeah. I mean, it would make sense to try to spread them out because a lot of some games that's gonna have potential ain't gonna be able to eat as much. But Bethesda, like I said, the conference was not really impressive. They had impressive titles. Impressive titles off name on paper alone. On paper alone, it was impressive, but the show itself, it sucked. It sucked.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it had to do with just the lack of gameplay of new stuff. That was it. Like the Dishonored 2 gameplay was all right. It didn't look that great, but we needed gameplay of Quake, needed gameplay of Prey, like somebody playing it. And don't tell us that nobody's playing it. You showed us some CGI trailer with a guy looking at his eye. It looked cool. And then all of a sudden you're saying next year, 2017, when? I don't think so. Like next end of holiday, that's going to be like the same one as Dishonored 2. Also, too, like to call it Prey, like we were saying this before in the chat, it took away everything that the original Prey was with the Native American ancestry and then that going up into space, like abduction. Now it's like I said, Deus Ex with aliens, like with aliens. Like it's just that's not Prey. Like it could be any. I guess Alien Invasion is what Prey is. So any Alien Invasion game is Prey. I guess. I don't know.
It looks like it's going in a totally different direction.
It's totally different. That's why they just call it Prey, I guess, and not Prey 2. They look like they scrapped it, but they want to put the name on there.
As Pete reminded me in the middle of the conference.
That was hilarious.
It's not related, man. It's not related. They could. I don't know why they called it Prey. To like, hopefully you forgot what Prey is, and whoever thought what Prey was and you liked it, well, this is Prey, and it's like it's not even related.
Yeah, because when they called it Prey, I was a little bit left. I was confused because I was like, hold on. Like the Prey I played, I remember being in a bar and being abducted by aliens and shit, and like having like weapons that were like that Native American like type weapons from back in the day that was alienized. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like,
I remember that scene too.
Yeah, and he would talk to his god, like his. It was really cool. Like it was a different concept, and now they just went the sci-fi route where this guy's experiment. Yep, he's experimented on. It's all the Bloom effect from Mass Effect type look, and and all that other stuff. And now he's sci-fi alien shooter. It turns into.
Yep. Look at me, I'm Deus Ex.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm surprised, like the Todd Howard thing, he wasn't there. Like they had him pre-recorded.
Which was funny because he was physically there because Phil Spencer tweeted out a picture of him of those two earlier.
So he had a pre-recorded thing about talking about DLC that makes you create stuff in Fallout. So he really didn't even. Now let me ask you guys another question. Do you think that they have another game like Elder Scrolls and they're going to show it at a Sony or Microsoft?
No.
So I think that'd be weird.
Well. Okay, so
somebody did do something, but it was a feature.
Well, okay, so somebody has been tweeting this out that they saw that possibly, and I gotta find it, when they were doing that intro to Quake, and they did the the DOS directory that they found a possible new Wolfenstein that they just haven't announced. And hang on, I'm gonna show it real quick.
I saw that tweet. Let me
Yeah,
see.
Machinima did it, and if you see how they circled New Colossus,
Yes.
and see how there's no date to it.
Yep, I see it. Yeah, there is.
So
That's
now the question.
Oh.
The question is are they waiting till QuakeCon for that, or was that just filler, or are they going to announce that at one of the two conferences tomorrow?
now that's the next Wolfenstein, right? New Colossus.
That would be the next Wolfenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I bet. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe they'll show up on maybe they'll show up on the Microsoft stage because he did do it last year. Todd Howard did come out after they had the Fallout hype and said mod support. He came out on stage and added more stuff last year, so maybe they'll have Bethesda on again.
How much you guys think the Skyrim remaster would be?
Oh, they're gonna charge $50 for that.
Yeah, that's 50 or 60. Yeah, that's not no $40 game.
That's not a they're not. Yeah, they're charging full price for that. If not full price, they're charging.
Especially, it's coming out end of October, so it's holiday rush, so they could get those people who want to spend more money.
Yeah.
So it's not like a middle of the dry season, like, hey, here's a $60 game. No, they're gonna charge $50, $60 for that thing. I bet you 50. I think 50. That'll be a compromise. I don't think maybe. I don't know. I saw some photographs. They put some photographs up about it. That's nice. It's just I don't know if I can play any more of that game anymore. I don't know.
I know. Yeah.
Looks
So
good.
if you guys had to give Bethesda a grade for this year, what would you give Bethesda with it being fresh on your mind? Like I said, I don't think I need to digest it. I don't think my opinion would ever change. But Jazz, let's start with you.
I would give them. I'll give them a C plus, and I don't know if we could do pluses, but I'm doing a C plus. I'll say that they, they needed more gameplay of new games to get people excited about. Like I think that the gameplay was lacking, and it was a lot of trailers, which I know a lot of people do nowadays. But I just think that, but they did have some good games that seem interesting. Prey did look good. And and also too, Quake might be really cool, but that gets a ding for not being on Xbox and PlayStation. Like cross-platform multiplayer, I've been doing it a lot with Rocket League and Xbox. Like it's awesome. Like that is the future, and these guys got to get their balls in check and just make it cross-game platforming for all the consoles and PC, and just end it. Because I'm telling you, that's awesome. But I'll give him a C plus. Yeah, some of the games look good, but need more gameplay.
All right, Double M. What about you?
All right, I'm gonna give them a C minus. And the reason I'm giving them the minus is because there's too much stuff that they dwelled on that really nobody cares about. Nobody cares about Elder Scrolls Legends. Nobody cares about Fallout Shelter being on PC. Nobody cares about.
You forgot on iPad. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh,
but
and on right.
I think
and
Apple got an announcement. Like Apple got
nobody
games.
right. Nobody cares that the card game's coming to iOS and Android. Nobody cares about most of, except for that one girl in the front row, cares about Elder Scrolls Online and the stuff they're doing. Although but what saved the conference is and was really, like I say, I'm biased. My man Pete, he did the best he could. He was in command of the show, so there wasn't a whole lot of crazy 20-minute FIFA segments with Pele, but when I was all prepared to go A plus when Quake was announced, and then they said PC only, and I'm like, well, that's that. And then the VR stuff was interesting, but Vive only. Let's be perfectly honest though. Let's no knock against current VR, but there is no friggin' way that PSVR can handle Fallout 4 and Doom. They just can't. They just can't. So Vive it is. I mean,
Why not Oculus though? Like, why? Like, you think it's the market now that we could just say, oh, we're gonna choose a VR? Should
Yep.
just put it on every? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, because Harmonix is doing it with Rock Band,
Oh
and
yeah.
I believe Guitar Hero's going to one, Rock Band's going to PSVR. I'm sorry, Rock Band's going to Oculus,
I'm
and
about to say they have to go to Oculus.
yeah,
just from-
they're doing some music game for PSVR, but you know,
Everybody's choosing sides.
I think we're getting to that point where there's going to be marketing deals for the different VR folks, and then
I
the
think
whole
maybe
thing.
the motion controls too. Maybe that because that has motion controls already, and he said like with a Pip Boy and a gun. So I guess
That's true.
Maybe that's why they went with Vive. I don't know.
I don't know. That's going to make VR implode on itself because no one in their right mind is buying all of those.
Yeah, it's like I said, you can barely afford VR now. You're not now. You got to choose which one for which. Yeah, it's not going to work. It's gonna.
No.
That's going to kill the market because. Yeah, that's the fast way out of VR.
Yep. And putting it all into old games that were not made for VR, and just saying, hey, we're gonna like throw VR into them. Like that's kind of how the Move and the Connect, like everybody try to do that, and that doesn't start. That's not well. You need ground up games made for VR that people buy.
Yeah.
You just like, and I think Sony's gonna probably do a lot of that stuff too. Sort of like what they did with the Killzone. Like they're like, hey, Move is now in Killzone. Buy your plastic gun. They might be doing that VR.
I don't think they're gonna do that.
Nah.
I don't think they can.
Yeah, no.
That's a good point.
Especially not with the current system.
Yeah.
That's why they're bringing out a new system that's built for the VR. That's why they're bringing
We're
out.
gonna talk about that a little bit later, but
I got you.
The thing is, my grade for Bethesda is I give them a it's like I want to give them a B minus, but I can't because that's too high of a grade. I'll give them a C plus, and the C plus for nostalgia. Like I said, they didn't have much to show, but they get nostalgia points because people were asking for Prey. They just wasn't asking for that Prey. And Skyrim. Come on. You say Skyrim, people freaking like ejaculate, So it's Skyrim remaster. It's like okay,
with mods. Or forget with mods.
With mods. Okay, so they got some they catered to the PC crowd with the Quake. Not only did you like Quake is back, but they got the PC gamers up in their rut. So they did what they was supposed to do, but to a smaller degree. And I give them a C. The thing that was wrong with their show is that the pace was off. I feel like the order of what they showed was off, and they didn't have, because of what they did last year, the bar for Bethesda was set. Like, okay, we expect Bethesda to do this, and they just didn't have it. They had a good show, but if you told me, like, you know what I mean, if you asked me what I was buying this fall, it's nothing from Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as I give them a C plus, just off the basis of nostalgia and catering to crowds that nobody's really catering for. Quake be exclusive to PC, the damn card game. They even going to do a beta for a card game. And then remastering Skyrim. Otherwise, the show was nothing to be excited for. We're gonna see a lot of stuff that they showed today next year.
Yeah, like they should have showed Prey gameplay. They should have showed they could have showed some Quake stuff. Like I don't even know when it seemed like also too they were promoting like Quake the QuakeCon. They're like, oh, more information at QuakeCon. And it's like you're at E3. You have people sleeping outside. Like
you don't have people sleeping outside the QuakeCon though.
But it's fucking QuakeCon.
Right?
It's not E3.
No, but in all fairness, QuakeCon is big time.
Yeah, QuakeCon was a big event.
But the thing is, those people that go to QuakeCon are buying Quake.
Yes.
You're at E3 with CNET. Everybody's there. Everybody's eyes on you. you got to appeal to, you got to tell everybody why they should buy your stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest stage in QuakeCon. QuakeCon's great, but that's that's people you already sold to those people. Those people are buying your game. I'm not buying Quake. I'm not going to QuakeCon, but I want to see why I should be excited about Quake and not with CGI guys running around. I want to see why this is going to be a good game. And just like they did with Fallout, see they do those walk demos. Todd Howard whispers in your ear, and you're walking around Fallout, and he's like, "Look at that little thing," and they pan the camera very slowly, and you're like, "Oh shit, this is awesome! This is awesome." They got to do that with everybody. I feel like everybody has to do that with their games. Be proud of the games, show the gameplay, get people excited. I ordered a Pip-Boy that day, sold out that night when they revealed that Pip-Boy special edition for Fallout.
You still got that piece of plastic?
Oh no, I didn't buy it. I pre-ordered it, and then I saw the hype train for it, and then I just bought it digitally and returned the Pip-Boy because nobody wanted to buy it after that. But anyway, but I pre-ordered it immediately. I was excited. I was pumped. And then he's like telling Dishonored, he's like, "Remember what happened with last year? Pip-Boys was so Fallout 4 sold out, so be sure that don't happen to you with Dishonored. Supplies are limited." And I'm like,
you think honestly, you think people are going to be running to Amazon for freaking Dishonored collector's editions? I doubt it.
Yeah, and also the Pip-Boy didn't work on my phone. That was another reason why I didn't keep it. Yeah, that was another thing. But yeah, nobody's buying a mask from Dishonored. Like, I know it was a good game. Like, yeah, it wasn't supposed to get. It was all right. I don't want to knock it, but it looked good. It studded a little bit.
Yep.
It didn't look that great. If a game was coming out as November 11th, man, if that thing doesn't fly, that's gonna get chewed up already.
How about that pre-order incentive?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, get the definitive edition. Well, they're not even bothering with backward compatibility now. Now they're just gonna remaster everything.
Yeah, the definitive edition. Yeah. Because guess what? They couldn't do it because then Sony wouldn't get the Dishonored one.
Well, and that's part of the problem is you got to be fair now.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So they had to do that, but it was they're just throwing everything at Dishonored. They think that's going to carry them. Maybe it will. I don't know. I think it's a bad release date. I think they should have swapped them. Actually, I think they should have Dishonored the 28th. And Skyrim remastered on the 11th because I think
Skyrim matched the 11/11 date that it came out in 2011.
Exactly. Yeah. And also too, I think Skyrim could hold its weight against those guys in November. Like
I don't think a remaster can hold its weight though.
I believe Dishonored probably should have came out in September. Honestly.
Yeah.
Late September. Just to try to get away from all the thrashing of all the damn dude bro shooters that are coming out during that.
And it's a first person too.
You know what? Let me tell you. I will. Well, it is Bethesda, and Bethesda doesn't do this normally. I would bet if anything got delayed out of that conference, it would be that game.
With Dishonored?
Somebody's going to go to them and say, "Hey guys, this is not the best time to put this game out."
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just, and I would say the same for Skyrim. We're talking about Call of Duty, Battlefield, Battlefront, or not Battlefront, Call of Duty,
2.
Battlefield, Titanfall 2. Lord knows what Gears. I mean, you are stacking the deck against that game. In a way that
now I know why Ubisoft said, we're not going to drop an Assassin's Creed.
Oh, and Watch Dogs,
right.
Watch Dogs 2.
Watch Dogs 2. Yeah.
It's going to be like, I don't even think I'm going to be able to. You realize from Gears of War to Call of Duty, they all come out a week. So you got Gears of War, Battlefield, Titanfall, Call of Duty, all a week away from each other. So after 1 week, there's the next game. After the next week, there's the next game. Who has... Like, we're gonna have how much? With $240?
I don't. I got three kids
but the online games though, that's the thing. Like your community, it's gonna be everybody's just it's so hard with those games. Like Gears is gonna have its online, and then you're gonna have Battlefield. I think EA is silly by saying Titanfall 2 and Battlefield 1.
Yeah, because I told you I did this video. That's their attack on Activision.
Yeah.
It's we're either going to sandwich Call of Duty in between, or we're going to throw our things right before Call of Duty.
Yeah. And you're not going to... And then Call of Duty with Modern Warfare in it, I don't care what you say, forget about that. You're not going to beat it in sales. And Titanfall 2, It looks good, but with the other thing that's getting me too with Titanfall 2, it just seems like, guys, they're making it a point that they got a campaign, and it's like, okay, are you just like, like, I understand maybe it's not a good campaign, I don't know, but you can't. It's like, guys, yeah, we didn't have a campaign in the first one, now we have a campaign, and it seems like that's been the message of Titanfall 2. It's Titanfall with the campaign, yay! Like, let's put it out.
Okay, so but to defend that, it is the original Infinity Ward team. I mean, those are the guys that did campaign before the multiplayer took off.
Well, it wasn't an emphasis for them in Titanfall 1. If they love
No,
it.
because the game almost didn't get made.
Yeah.
You gotta. I mean, this is the funny part about Titanfall 2, and the realistic piece of this is that as I'm fine now with it being multi-platform because I think all games should be, and everybody. And if you're gonna make money, you gotta get out to the most amount of people. But at first, this was definitely when the rumors were going about. This was definitely to me a slap in the face of all that stuff that they said about Titanfall 1. We can only do this with Microsoft servers. We can only do this with Azure, and now we're finding out. Well, the new game's not going to be on Azure. So,
No.
Hey John, right?
Oh.
Hey John, that whole thing you said about we can only do this game. The truth of the matter is they can only do this game because Microsoft stepped up and said we'll pay for it. And so it's like, hey, thanks for bringing us to the dance. We're gonna go dance with somebody else.
Yeah. But the thing is that if they're not using those Azure servers, like, are they using EA?
That's
I guess
what
they're using
scares
EA
me.
servers.
Yeah, that's what scares me.
That's what's scaring a lot of people.
Yep. Enjoy that.
Not just
and I
Xbox
bet you.
I see
think
PS
AI?
same thing.
Yeah, you think they're gonna have the AI and stuff like that? Like, I don't
The
know.
bots, the infamous bots everybody hated.
Yeah, those infamous bots are gonna have that AI. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Titanfall 2 seems kind of. I'm kind of nervous about it. Like, I was pumped for the first one. It looks good, but I'm just like, there's just too much stuff going on. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, and I'm just hoping that Titanfall 2 is not like, hey guys, this should have been Titanfall 1. Now we added a campaign, so I want to see the multiplayer evolving. I don't want to see like, hey, the multiplayer is just a little bit better, and we put a campaign on it. Here's Titanfall 2, and that's why it's just getting thrown out there with Battlefield. Like, Battlefield looks like that's the new evolution of Battlefield. With Titanfall 2, just, I don't know, it just seems kind of rushed to throw it there with it.
Now I could believe honestly that that campaign's going to be good. I don't think I doubt that.
But do you think that the multiplayer is not going to be as amazing or as evolutionary, that's why they're like, oh, here's Battlefield 1 for your multiplayer needs and Titanfall 2's for your campaign needs?
I'm not sure.
Why are they not concerned with having two huge multiplayer games fighting with each other? Microsoft never did it. Nobody really does it. I haven't seen it done.
I think what they're trying to do is just EA just trying to just throw whatever they got. You know what I mean? They got Activision in the odd space. Well, you got Activision with their Call of Duty being the most disliked video of like all time, and you have
everybody's gonna body.
And you have the thing is, right? Everybody, I guess, is sick of the whole like stop like the boosters, thrusters. Let's send Call of Duty to space type movement. So the thing is, even though there's a lot of people that dislike it, there's still a market for it. So EA wants to cover both their bases. Foot on the ground, old school first-person shooter with Battlefield, and then you got your futuristic shooter with Titanfall. And Titanfall is arguably has been, when it came out, it was the best shooter. I feel it was the best shooter of 2014, and
it was something different.
But you said you feel like it was something different. But like there was two conferences today. We had Bethesda, which we're raging on now, and then we had EA. Who do you think had a better showing today out of just those two?
Well, if you go with me first, I didn't see the EA conference. I just heard the news out of it. So I just heard Battlefield 1 looked amazing, and Titanfall 2 had a really good trailer. Or did they show gameplay of Titanfall 2?
Yes.
The campaign.
They had a gameplay. Yeah. Well, no, they had a multiplayer trailer too.
Okay. Of gameplay. Yeah, I have to see those. I didn't see those. I'm just
And-
I'm just going off based on the messaging that they had. I just feel like Titanfall 2 is being marketed very like single player, like very like campaign focused. Like we got a campaign, and Battlefield 1 is the multiplayer stuff.
I think we will see Titanfall 2 again. I think Titanfall will appear on, I think, Xbox stage. If it appears on PlayStation stage, not to be a bot that I am, but I think I would be turned off. Doesn't mean I won't get the game, but I think I would be turned off.
I saw that collector's edition photo and it had a PlayStation 4 on it. Was that a mock-up or was that really like officially from them? Like it had a PlayStation 4
Not
box
sure.
on it.
I'll tell you this. It would be. I know they don't. I know that Phil has come out and said he's not really trying to do a whole lot of those anymore. If I am being honest, I believe that would be a PR nightmare for Microsoft, because this was their premier exclusive game of 2014, where they put. I mean, I'm not kidding. Respawn may not exist without Microsoft. Let's call this as it is. That game would not have come out, and Respawn may never have survived. So, for them to walk out on Sony's stage, especially since Sony already has not Battlefield, because Microsoft's got Battlefield. They've got Call of Duty marketing. Don't forget, they've got Destiny marketing, and Destiny's new DLC's coming out in September. And they're probably going to have any Star Wars marketing that's going forward.
Yep.
You cannot afford to let Titanfall go like that. Especially you've already let the franchise go. The franchise is no longer exclusive to you, so you've already let that go. You can't let the marketing go on it too. I just think that would be a bad move.
I wouldn't be surprised. So Bungie, and even seeing Star Wars, like the fact that they missed the Star Wars Battlefront boat, it shows that the people at Microsoft now are totally different than the ones that were there before. Like the fact that they did not buddy up and target that Star Wars, knowing a movie's coming out, that just seemed like un-Microsoft type, un-Xbox like compared to what the previous regime was. And the fact that happened, I wouldn't be surprised if Titanfall is all over that stage with Call of Duty and Bungie, and they're all just having a three-way on Sony stage. Because I don't know, I don't know. I think Microsoft is just into this thing, and I agree with you. I think the fact that they had the PC, Xbox 360, Xbox One, but Titanfall was that. They had it on their kind of Microsoft platform. It was like one of the first games that it was on PC, Xbox, and 360. This would have been a perfect opportunity for them to do cross-play, Xbox platform exclusive on PC and Xbox. And the fact that it's not doing that, I don't know what they're doing over there. I don't know.
Well, let me real quick just give. Yes, they're calling me Blue Shirt Man in the chat room. That's wonderful. Thanks, guys. First about the conferences, and because I do want to talk about what's going on at Microsoft for a minute. Honestly, I felt it was a tie because just nothing struck me as a wow. And part of Bethesda's problem for me was, at least going into this conference, that was the one that everybody I have talked to, everybody who podcasted with me, everybody who I've talked to on Twitter, that's the conference over everyone else's that everybody's been waiting for. The diehard Xbox guys are waiting for the Microsoft conference. The diehard PlayStation guys are waiting for the Sony conference. Everyone else was waiting for Bethesda.
Yes.
And so I can't imagine that those who were hanging on every hope for the games that were supposed to come out, that they thought were coming out at Bethesda, that didn't, and then getting what they got, I can't imagine that not everybody is happy. Yeah. So then when you go over to EA had zero surprises. You knew from EA's press releases and what they were showing on EA Play, you knew exactly what was coming. We didn't know about Fee. And that was, I think I tweeted out this afternoon, oh, look, it's Fee in the Blind Forest. But, Neither of them got me. You can see how I am now. Neither of them got me excited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
'cause the
over
thing
Twitter
is,
now is everybody's talking about that new
you know
Colossus.
what's crazy?
It's like more rumor shit.
I almost ignored the Bethesda conference. I was sitting there playing some NBA Live, and
NBA Live, nonetheless.
I got an invite to a party. Shout out to Mr. Inferno and Jansen and all of them. But they was like, they were like, Smooth, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm playing games. And it's like, why ain't you on Twitch? And I'm like, what's going on? And it was like, well, Bethesda's conference about to start. I was like, okay. And so I sat there, I waited. It's 15 minutes past my bedtime, and I'm watching, and I'm like, okay, well, let's see. I was like, let's see what they do. Let's see if what they're gonna do if they did last year. And I just feel like it just when Quake, obviously you guys see my tweet when Quake first was announced, I was like, oh shit. But
Yeah,
that was me first realizing that it's Quake. But after the message came forward that championship. PC only, and then I thought after the initial Quake announcement we would see like legit gameplay, like they did with Doom and whatnot. But we did it, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I felt like because they started with Quake, it only would get better because I was like, oh shit, it's Quake, and it just kind of just like, and then it came back with the freaking card game. I was like, damn, they showed that last year, and I was not impressed with it last year. I'm not impressed with it this year. They talked about Elder Scrolls Online, which they practically tried to give away at last year's E3. If you guys don't remember.
Yes, I remember that.
They tried to give it away. That's where that other
free,
freaking 3 million people came from. Like,
yeah, now that's 7 million because they gave it away for free last year.
Right.
And so I didn't want to see anything. I don't like seeing things on games that are already available at a premiere show.
Yeah,
like DLC. I don't want to see anything. No, I want to see something that new, fresh, that nobody else has. I don't care about the game I've been playing.
Exactly.
How long the game been out? 2 years?
Mm-hmm. What game? Fallout?
No, Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh yeah, it's 2 years. It botched the whole year on PC, and then it came out the consoles, and
and you know how many free weekends you had with Elder Scrolls Online since it came to consoles?
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's like I don't even know how Experiential works with that.
And I don't want to throw shade on it. I don't want to pretend it's a bad game because obviously there are some cool things about it.
It's alright.
You know, and the one Tamriel thing is kind of cool. One of the reasons I don't play those games is because I don't have time to grind on it.
Yeah.
But if they open that game up and you could basically go do whatever you want, whatever you want, not from jump. That could be cool. That could reinvigorate some of the people who maybe stopped playing it to get back in, and then they can go and do whatever they want. The problem is that you're dedicating precious time. If they didn't have that stuff in there, that conference would have been half hour.
Yeah. Easily.
But do you think their continued support for Elder Scrolls Online might make them like kind of keep delaying I guess it's not ready. Probably for next year they're going to show. That'll be the big thing. It'll be the next Elder Scrolls.
And you know what's crazy? I didn't think they were going to show another a new Elder Scrolls game because of that cycle has already had hit. Because you already after they already had the Elder Scrolls Online, and I feel like that came. Elder Scrolls Online came out 2014, right? End of 2000, summer 2014 or sometime 2015. So I feel like that gave them a break for even working, even though it wasn't them, the people that make the Skyrims and the Oblivions. It was a different developer, but Bethesda obviously published it. It gave them a break for having to put out another one. And I think now with the Skyrim remaster, it'll be 2018 before you see another.
Yeah, and they never really rolled them out. That's why another thing, like you were saying, everybody's excited for Bethesda's conference, but Bethesda wasn't that company that kind of said, okay, well, here's Skyrim, and next time's Fallout. Now the next they weren't alternating them like EA would or something like that.
Each game takes 6 years to make.
Yeah. So then that's why everybody's saying Elder Scrolls, where is it? I saw it all in the chat, and I'm like, that's kind of, and it's going to conflict with online, which that's where the fantasy guys are going. I don't know, unless they do they do something different with and then they do Skyrim Remastered, so they're just really in the fantasy area now. Like, yeah, I don't think they could drop an Elder Scrolls. You're right, for another 2 years. So, who knows what
Well,
next year's going to be?
where are they gonna go? Because they are pumping a lot of effort into Elder Scrolls Online. I mean, what if that's their game?
Your
What if they're
fantasy
just
genre.
what if that's just where they're going with it, and they're just gonna turn Elder Scrolls into a game as a service?
That's what I was going at. Yeah, exactly. Like that's
Yeah.
if you throw out another Elder Scrolls, like you're kind of competing with your online. I know it's a different experience, but you're kind of competing your fantasy genre because now it's and they play similar, even though the other one, you know, the first person and third person, but they're the same in the same world nonetheless. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, the whole thing was just like I said. It wasn't horrible. It was average. Like
Yeah,
I think
that's fair.
we're all saying C.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just a matter of we're liking parts of it that you guys aren't. I don't know.
I want gameplay. That's what I want. Gameplay of the. Show me gameplay of a guy playing Prey. Show me gameplay of Quake, even though it's on PC, but still, like show like that stuff. Like I don't know how you bring everybody together to show a trailer that you could just upload on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know why they continuously do that. Like I'm not gonna see a trailer and then go pre-order the game based on CGI guys jumping around. Like I want to see the gameplay because we've been duped on it so many times with the Watch Dogs, with everything, and it's just like, you know, these trailers can be easily shared on Twitter instantly. Like you don't need to have everybody there on stage at E3 and say, check out my trailer. Sony does it a lot.
Yeah.
You know, that's what upsets me with Sony's announcement things. Like they just show trailers and of games I don't even know when they're coming out. Like Microsoft does show some gameplay, but they kind of focus on what's coming out this year. Which
Not anymore. They don't. I mean, come on,
Nah.
Phantom Dust and
Oh.
Sea of Thieves. I mean, they're going to show Sea of Thieves twice. They're going to show Gears of War twice. They're going to show.
They do.
They'll show new stuff.
Well, we never saw
doubt.
gameplay of that. I'm surprised that they held that out for a year. And never
I'm
see-
sure we're going to see new Halo stuff there. Everybody. I always talk about guys like Peter Moore as being guys that I really have looked up to in the industry and guys that there's a reason that Peter is successful wherever he goes. When he was at Microsoft was around the time that I was doing the Next Level Gaming website part. So I always got to E3, always saw him. You'd always go to his, we were always at his press conferences, the one he ran.
Yeah.
All the games that they ever showed in the Peter Moore era of Xbox were all games that were coming out that year. And they made a point to say nothing we're showing today is coming out, later on. It's all stuff for coming out this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what's happened is gamers have gotten so, I don't know if entitled's the word. I don't know if just impatient is the word, that nobody cares about that stuff anymore. They want to see, what's cool and coming down the pipe. But the problem is, you show that. You don't have. I mean, you have to then start showing it again. When you start showing CG trailers at the beginning of a development cycle, you have one of two things that are going to happen. Either your game's going to get canceled, like Phantom Dust and Fable Legends, or you're going to end up having to show that game multiple years, like The Last Guardian, like Horizon Zero Dawn, like Dream. Like, let's be honest. I'm sure Sony's going to announce some new stuff. But they're going to have to show a ton of stuff that they showed last year that wasn't ready.
Yeah, Quantum Dreams game, that game they showed twice.
Yep. Microsoft's going to have to do the same exact thing, whether we like it or not. Like I said, they're going to have to show Sea of Thieves, because that game, we don't even know where it's coming out. They're going to have to show Recore, because they showed nothing of it last year.
Yep.
They're going to have to show more Scalebound. They're going to have to show Gears again. I mean, so they're going to have to dedicate a significant portion of their conferences to stuff that they have already announced that now we're just waiting on. With some of this stuff, we don't even have. They're going to have to show Crackdown 3 again. I mean, this is stuff that doesn't even have release dates.
I know. We're gonna be rolling our eyes, going, "We saw Crackdown. Yes, we know. Like, show something different." Like, yeah, it's they. I don't. You know, the thing is that I think what's happening is everybody's just trying to get the one up on everybody else. Is just they're trying to say, oh look, my game. Like, there's a popular game that thing gets some hype, but the thing is like, where does it get you? Like, it doesn't get you it gets you hype now for something that comes out 2 years from now. Like, I don't like. I want to when I'm watching E3. I got like my wallet in my hand, my credit card, and I'm like, let me buy something. Let's go. Show me. Let me buy something. Let's go. I got my laptop on my lap. I'm ready to go. And then I'm like, oh, what? 2018, 2017. Oh, fuck this. And then I'm like, enough of this. I'm like, this is. Then you kind of get on this high from E3, and then the day or two after E3, you're like, I'm bored as shit. And especially there's no games coming out now, and it's just like it's a high and a real crash. Dude, that's why I like a lot when they do like today, like if they do the Halo Wars 2 going, go play it today. That's awesome. Even last year when they did backwards compatibility, today, even though it was a few games, it was still something cool.
Yeah. By the way, thanks to Nathan in the chat room.
Oh shit, there it is. On that.
They're charging full price.
Hey man, October 28th, man.
Oh man,
they're charging full price.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Good thing they didn't announce that during the conference. They would have dropped to a D for me.
Shit. $60. Oh, they've been selling the Game of the Year edition for how much? Always 60 like for that much?
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
$60. I can remember the first level where you get out with the dragon. Oh, you know what? No. I don't need to play the whole thing again.
I could actually, you know what? The Xbox 360 version was good enough. I can go continue to play that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that they're giving it for free for the people on PC who had the Legendary Edition.
Oh, nice.
Like some epic Legendary Edition, they're getting it for free. Because probably that's basically the game. It's just updated textures.
Yeah, pretty much, yes. Because the game PC gamers already have it.
Had the mods. I think somebody wrote like, oh, yeah. I think it was it Shipwreck from I think GBD. Like he tweeted something going, look, the PC Legendary Edition's finally coming to consoles as a remaster.
Oh man.
I was like, yep, that's pretty much it.
Unbelievable. So, man. By the way, I got a whole bunch of the NLG peeps in the chat room, so I'm telling them to make sure they sub to your channel, Smooth.
Oh, nice. Awesome. And to all the people that are subbed to my channel that's in this chat, check out Next Level Gaming. I'm almost certain you heard of them.
It's because they're all of them in there.
Yeah, I'm almost certain.
And you're scratching that dollar too now, see?
Half of them are people that were in our party chat earlier.
Oh, my goodness. I don't even know how to bring the chat up. I don't know what the hell's going on.
It's when you watch the video.
Yeah, when you watch the YouTube, and then you can pop the chat out, so you don't have to have the YouTube playing in the background.
Yeah, I'm doing that stuff.
However, henceforth, I will be known as Blue Shirt Guy.
Blue Shirt Guy.
Yeah, that was
Hope everyone likes my Chewbacca from.
Somebody else tried to call me Red Shirt Guy.
Yeah. Hang on.
Maybe everybody will look at my picture of the Chewbacca guy, and I can make millions with my Chewbacca icon.
All right, here you go. I am now dubbed Blue Shirt Guy.
Awesome. But yeah. Did anybody else got anything to say before we close this out? We had two, unfortunately. Well, one we expected to be not great, which was EA, and one, well, was surprisingly not good at all. So.
Well, no, surprisingly average is what I would say. I can't say it's not good.
Yeah, you're right.
But it did not hit expectations.
Mm-hmm.
The hype for this conference was off the charts, and that's except for, like I said, except for Elder Scrolls Woman in the first row. I just don't know who. The applause was tacit for everything. Do you remember this afternoon during the EA press conference after they showed the latest Madden trailer, which basically could have been Madden 16 with I mean you had like maybe 5 people clap after that trailer because it's the same shit again.
Madden should be banned from E3, honestly.
All sports games
Yeah.
should go for EA stage.
Yeah.
Like that should just be its own like
It is
thing.
time. It is time.
I don't
that
need to
the
see more
NFL
FIFA cards.
It's time for the NFL to stop this nonsense and let Visual Concepts and 2K get back in the game, because this has gone too long. This has gone too far, too long, and it's BS. And it's time.
And your good friend Peter Moore would tell you, Mike, we're in a business to make money.
Oh, this is. He would
That's
say,
right.
"I love you, Mike, but shut the hell up."
That's a big money deal.
I can't
that
believe.
thing.
I still can't. I gave. You know what? I'm going from a C- to a C only because Pete Hines.
Man.
Only because Pete tweeted me in the middle of the conference.
Nice, awesome.
I couldn't believe that. I mean, like I said, I've known him for a long time. I've got a great relic from the Dreamcast Bethesda days. It's which he gave me actually, which just tells you how long he's been with Bethesda. I mean, he has been there a very, very long time. So I've known him a very long time. I just didn't think he would actually respond to me in the middle of this conference.
Yeah.
They're throwing a hell of a party, it looks like, on Twitter about open bar, Blink 182, free
Yeah.
food.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
see, That's not the conference, though, guys. Like,
Right.
the thing is like, we're watching that stuff, and, like, I thought it was funny when he said, like, and Blink 182's there, and everybody's like, there's, like, a few people like, yeah. Like, nah, guys. This is not the all small things, like, era. Sorry.
Now, that's how they're doing it now, though. They're whining and dining.
You know what I mean?
Oh, they're whining and dying the shit out of them now.
Because
That
a lot of
all
the people,
sudden now-
a lot of the people at the conference were today were also from the Xbox Fan Fest. So like Jeff Bartram was in there, and I think Southbound was in there, and I know Anchor was in there.
Yep, that's what he just sent some photos.
Yeah, so I mean, there were some guys that were in the Fan Fest that were getting in there. So some of that, this whole E3 thing is headed towards either a fan base show, which guys like Tony Polanco seem to think, or I think it's gonna dissipate in the next couple years, and shows like PAX and that kind of thing are gonna step up and fill the void, because this is just weird.
I think it should turn to a fan base show, because you're right, because that's what it's turning into. It's just like, hey, the fans, come see the games, because even the media doesn't even wait for E3 to try out game. Like, they play that pre-E3 show. Like, they've already tried some of these games out, and it's really, they're not, like, I don't know, like, I really don't see the media really needing to that, because they get their private showcases and stuff. They're not going to wait on some line to go play E3 demo. Like, they're going to get it privately handed to them, because, you know what? If they're not told how to play the game, they can write a crap review about something, and, the developers don't want that. They want it in a controlled environment. So E3 is not the best way.
Well, not just that, but, thanks to Twitter and thanks to Facebook and thanks to YouTube, these companies don't need the press anymore.
They don't.
They don't need. Back in the day, I hate to date myself and make myself sound old, but back in the days when I went, I had to lug a laptop into the show, and that's how we got the message out. Is we basically typed out everything that happened, and maybe took a couple snapshots with our ancient phones, or took our cameras with us, but we didn't. This shit wasn't streamed. We didn't have YouTube. We couldn't do live reaction shows like this. We basically went back to the hotel and wrote out articles. Fans didn't even get to do this.
They
Now,
did the article.
right
Yeah.
now, I mean, EA Play, they don't need IGN, GameSpot, and Next Level Gaming to tell them what's going on. They got everybody there with a cell phone camera and a Twitter account and a YouTube channel that can get their message out so much faster and so much better than the press ever could.
Yeah.
And that is why E3 is dying.
Exactly. And you know what? It's transcending to other things. Like, I just get like something that's related to that, but not really related to the games. But I went to like Microsoft invited me as a preview person to go as a preview member to like a device night, and they showed the Surface Book, they showed Xbox streaming, they did this little private party, but it was all like just fans of the area and just tweeted out. Like, that was it. They didn't have to. There wasn't a demo in Best Buy. It was like this private little thing. wine and dine like the Bethesda thing, but it's really just getting everybody excited about their products, and that's what it is. It's just excitement. So, Dishonored might not look great from us watching at some, like, stuttering stream, but hey, you have a couple of free drinks in you and some friggin' hors d'oeuvres. Holy shit! That Bethesda
that $100
awesome.
collector's edition looks pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Like, pre-order, they'll have the little handouts, and I have hors d'oeuvres. I got Blink 182 if I'm a fan. I'm drinking free thing, man. Bethesda's like my best buddies. Now all of a sudden you come out of that thing and you're like, holy shit, let me pre-order this Dishonored 2 and tell my friends about it. Like, there you go.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Microsoft's doing too. That's what
Yeah,
that's what their fan fest is for.
Yeah.
Come on, bunch of guys are out with Albert and Mikey Barra right now having dinner.
Exactly. Yep.
You cannot tell me that's not set up that
Coercion,
way.
marketing, yeah, exactly. And Sony does it too. They give free drinks and at the end of the day, and they all do it. And it's they make you engulfed in the environment. Like, just to look at Anchorman's photos, there's like the Pip Boy is there with all dwarves around them. Like, hey man, that's where it is, and that's where it's turning into a fan fest. Like, they don't need, and I saw Jeff Gerstmann, like Giant Bomb, like tweet out that was a pretty okay conference, and I bet you for them they're like, hey, that was short and sweet, great for us. Like, they don't want no 2-hour conference where there's no news and some dragging out stuff. And that was the one thing that you got to give Bethesda, credit. If they didn't have that much to show, they didn't drag it out where they had, Pele come on stage and talk about his life story about soccer. Like they kind of just said, here's the shit that we got. Is some stuff, and here we go. That's all we got. Dishonored 2. See you guys in the hors d'oeuvres.
Yep, get over there because we're paying Blink 182 by the hour. So we got to
conference as a commercial for those people here. We're going next door and we're gonna have fun. And I'm like, holy shit! And for those at home, like, you could stay with Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb, jump around. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm not staying with them.
I'm like, no, I don't need them.
Yeah, as soon as the show wrapped up.
I'll send Pete an email and try to get a T-shirt. I'm not waiting to get one from them.
Yeah, I don't need those guys. I feel bad. Their show was good, was decent, but man, they're like, when they bring them up, I'm like, oh man, like, Adam Sessler, I thought he was out of the gaming. I thought he developed games. I'm surprised to see him host the show, but at first I thought that was the showcase. I'm like, is it just gonna be them like having like a X-Play revival show and Bethesda? I thought it was like, because I wouldn't put it past it, because Ubisoft did some crazy shit. Like they would do some crazy stuff like that too. But I don't know. Like, it was all right. I was like, I thought it was gonna be better. Like, I was gonna start pre-ordering games, and I don't pre-order anything anyway. 2 days before pre-order. I don't pre-order a year in advance.
Yeah.
Bullshit like that. No special editions. I don't need any masks.
No, or helmets, that kind of thing.
But let's see what Microsoft does. I don't. That Slim thing's leaking all over the internet, like, and it doesn't say anything about with any superpower graphics cards. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not even, like, my expectations has been turned all the way down to minimum. And I just hope they have a good show. I hope I get surprised. I'm gonna get me my Sour Patch Kids and my Arizona iced tea. And
you'll be all hyped up.
And hopefully and be entertained. If not, then I don't know. But
I don't know. Phil's hyped it up as the most important show since the Xbox 360 Zero launch.
Yeah,
that came out of his mouth? I saw that quote. I didn't know he said that. Oh.
Yeah, but that was before all the crap leaked. Unless he turns around and he said the Xbox that's leaked is the Scorpio and it is 6 teraflops, that's the only way I'm being surprised.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was like. I was like, oh yeah, if they say, because the thing is though, the advertisement doesn't say, it just says HD 4K capable, which means they'll probably have a better HDMI port.
I still believe, just because of my experience, I still believe that
there's some secret sauce. There's something else to it.
There's something else.
They turn that thing around.
This is a rope.
This is
right.
My thing since day
take
one.
This and plug it into the back of your
Exactly. That's been my thing.
No, I don't think that. I just think.
Listen,
I don't know.
Everything that has leaked out on purpose. I'm sorry.
You think?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow. I will be
He's gonna
streaming.
take that console. He's gonna hold it up, turn it around. And it's gonna be the Phil Spencer port, and that's gonna have the graphics amplifier in it, and that's the Scorpio.
It's gonna have the third stack GPU on it.
Oh man.
It's the Phil
No,
Spencer.
I'm sorry. I've been around
Power
too.
port.
I really have. I've been around too. I've been around too long to see that there's just too much stuff that's quote leaked out that I have a hard time believing that a company like Microsoft can't keep control of this much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like this hasn't been just one thing.
Yeah.
This has been like Dead Rising 4. This has been the Slim. This has been
Scorpio.
Scorpio. I'm
It's
seeing
all
pictures.
controlled. I know.
I'm
It
seeing
is.
pictures of possibly Forza Horizon 3 out there. There is no friggin' way that a company the size of Microsoft that by the way spends so much effort and time on security
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
could possibly not know that this stuff's getting leaked out.
And just to
I'm
break
sorry.
it down, you're right. And just to break it down just a little bit, think about how the leaks originated on Xbox versus how they originated on the Neo. The Neo was from developers who had the documents in their hand, which talks about Sony's security, as you know how they're fucking off. But the documents that got released was Microsoft's one's kind of been weird. It's been like NeoGAF. Like it reminds me of those rumors when they were down in the dumps when the console first launched and they were talking about the Halo Master Chief Collection, and that shit just showed up on NeoGAF. Like, oh, it's just some weird rumors. This guy has like everything down. I agree. I think they are kind of leaked, like controlled leaks. The other thing is too, I'm looking at a big picture of this thing. It looks like it has an infrared port on the front, on the lower right hand corner.
IR blaster.
Yeah, an IR blaster. Yeah. So so you don't need Kinect, which that's
Right.
great.
Well,
For
yeah,
that.
the Kinect is dead.
It is dead.
Kinect is
Unfortunately, I think
Kinect
it's
is
going to
dead.
come back with HoloLens. I think it's on. I think it's in hibernation.
Kinect is dead.
We shall see. We shall see.
What is that button on the front though? There it is, the DX12 button. That little white thing in the middle.
The thing, that if you press it, it goes from 6 teraflops to 8 teraflops.
That's it. Bill Spencer comes over and he uses his port. He plugs it in. Fucking give me 10 teraflops.
Or if we believe some of the, and I use the Dr. Evil air quotes again, insiders. Somehow a big giant switch is going to come down from the ceiling, held by both Major Nelson and Angry Joe, and they're going to fight over it, and then the switch is going to get pulled, and your current Xbox One is going to jump to 5.5 teraflops.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like a
because-
Mr. X Media type of.
Because why? Because why do it? Why do it? You know now, and you know who wanted to? Why do it in 2013 when you could wait 2 years of getting your ass kicked before you turn the magic flops on?
There's no switch. There's no flops. But the thing is, what they need to do in this message is really just get rid of the discrepancy between the Xbox One being their weakest part. Like, I think they highlight the power difference even more with them emphasizing it on PC and Xbox One. Like, it's just like, well, the Xbox One is kind of the GIMP version of the PC version. And it's like, guys, because you're putting your games on both platforms, you're really showing the discrepancy of power now because of a PC and Xbox. So they really got to make their Xbox on par with at least a decent PC, so they don't have to. So at least their games are not as dramatically different, or they're not showing that power difference. So that's why they do have to up the graphics of the power of the Xbox One, because I think they're highlighting it even more by just throwing everything on PC. Like, people, you're really taking your Xbox market and driving them to PC, which I know they want to do, but I don't know. It just I don't know if the Slim's going to be more powerful. I think it's what everybody says. It's just going to be the Slim, and with 2 terabyte memory, and that's it.
Well, we shall see.
Yeah. And they went with white too, which is interesting. White and vertical.
Well, because those
According
were
to this.
Well, people complain about the stupidest stuff.
I
One,
know.
that the system wasn't capable of being vertical, and 2, it had an external power brick. I
Oh
mean,
my
these are
God.
two of the biggest Irma Gerd things that I've ever seen.
The power brick.
I swear, I did. It's why I feel like I'm aging out of gaming because this is the stupidest stuff I've ever heard
Yes.
people complain about.
And people don't
As I
complain
keep
about a
saying,
power brick.
damn
Like,
millennials.
do they ever have a friggin' laptop? Like, do you have a power supply built into a laptop that doesn't use a power brick? Like, what the fuck? Are we complaining about laptop manufacturers saying, you put a power brick, why can't you just build it into my laptop so I can lug it around? Like, it's the stupidest thing. The power brick has to go somewhere. Do you want it inside the console to make it heavier, or do you want it externally? Like, come on, who gives a shit? So Sony does it. If Sony didn't have a power brick, like, come on. It's stupid. That means if something goes wrong with your power, and guess what? I'll tell you this: my 360, the power. Oh, no, what? It was my Xbox One. Power brick burnt out. I didn't have to send my console back. I just
Right.
got a new power brick.
A new power brick.
Now, if that happened with Sony's, I would have to send the whole console back.
Right.
So, yeah, regardless, I couldn't play on it, but still, it was the power brick and not the whole console. So I didn't have to worry about my games. I'm losing my games and stuff like that because they weren't on the Xbox. So, I don't know. I think that's more of like the media guys who travel with their Xboxes and stuff like that. I don't know. And the vertical thing, I don't know. If you have kids, you don't want that shit vertical.
I've never put a console vertically.
And I don't like the CD drive sitting in a vertical spot either. Self-feeding mechanism vertical.
I don't even want to believe it's real, so I just been like, so.
You don't want to believe it's real.
Yeah,
That could be. I mean, that could be one of the big photoshops of our era.
Oh man, it looks like it's from their website though, and that shit usually is real. And they show like stuff leaking on their website. Like it wasn't like some like.
But
I
again,
don't
that's
know.
why I believe. That's why I believe this is not. This is not an accidental, coincidental leak. I think come on, they put it on their website already.
All right, one more thing before Kid Smooth gets upset. Hear this. What about Xbox One S? It's real, but here's Xbox One S Plus, and that's the Scorpio. So that's the one they say, hey, let this one leak. That's the design, but now we're going to put one with more power in, and they're going to show that one tomorrow.
And that'll be $799.
Well, that's the one that's $450, and
I
this
don't know.
one's $300.
Yeah.
What this? I don't know. It's 2 terabytes though. I don't know. We'll see. If they just show this, like, what would you feel? If they just show this and say Slim coming, I'm not buying it. Like, unless it has some compelling graphics port.
It won't.
Yeah, it won't. It's not gonna. But he said it though. Well, why would he pull that out of his ass?
Said what?
He said you'll see us have upgradable console, like we'll have upgradable consoles.
No, well, no. Okay, that's not quite what he said. He said he can see iterative consoles. He said that they weren't gonna bring out a console that you could, take apart with a screwdriver and upgrade parts in.
No, but he said a console he insinuated kind of a modular console, a console that upgrades with you rather than having stopgaps in the system. Like, here's your S, now we go Xbox 2S and Xbox 3. No, it's a Xbox One, and then now here's all the expandable ports. Like, it's modularity to it. You could add power to it. You could add things to it, like a PC, basically. That's what he kind of said. So why would he just say that and then come out with, like, hum-ho Xbox smaller?
Well, we knew that Xbox Slim was coming regardless. It just,
Yeah.
I don't know what they're planning to
Second word
do.
kept
but,
secret
like,
of the year.
I just kind of just like, I don't know. I really don't care anymore.
I'm gonna tell you one thing that pisses me off too is that the Bethesda conference just ended, and now everybody's going off of that Wolfenstein rumor. It's like, guys, the fucking company was on stage and announced their shit. Why are we still speculating what Bethesda's gonna announce? Like, it's like they're gonna like do a pop-up show like right now, like one more thing, everybody.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's what they were expecting was, hey, by the way, and Wolfenstein. That would have I'd have given it. I would have jumped up to an A if they ended with Wolfenstein.
And showed it.
Oh yeah. By the way, Pete gets ready to go off stage and says, wait, oh damn, I forgot something. and then the trailer for Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
That would have been a showstopper. That would have been a game stopper. Showstopper. So
Yeah, that would have been cool. But we'll see. Maybe, hey, they come up on stage. Maybe they do. They come on stage at Sony's or at Microsoft's and announce Wolfenstein. Maybe Sony's. Come out.
I
Do
could
what they
see
did
that
Microsoft last year.
because they came out for Fallout 4
Yeah,
for Microsoft. I could see them coming out for Sony for
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein. I could see that.
Yeah, and
Yeah, but the thing is, the only time they would have done that, the thing is, even though they showed Fallout on Microsoft conference, they already showed Fallout on their conference. So they're not going to show a game on anybody else's conference that they didn't show at their conference. They'll go in depth more on one of their conferences, but I don't think they're going to show a new game that they haven't showed at their conference.
Maybe it's in the booth. Like unless they're like Sony's showcasing in their booth or Microsoft showcasing in their booth.
This is what I see happening. I see freaking the only thing Bethesda could appear on Microsoft stage and be like, oh, by the way, Quake Champions will also appear on Xbox by UWP. Drop the mic. That's all. Just saying. But anything else before we log out?
No,
Nah.
now I'm ready to go to sleep.
Yeah. Me too. I gotta keep my eyes open. Damn, like, you know what I mean? So, I should sleep good. Thank you, Bethesda. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check out Next Level Gaming. The link will be in the description below because it's not there now, but it will be after I hit stop. Shout out to Jez. Follow him on Twitter. Jez.
Yeah, just Twitter. Jez, JEZ7780.
And Adam on Xbox Live. I think Xbox Live is just Jez, right?
Yeah, on the Xbox Live it's Jez77, and on Steam it's Jez7780. Cool. So hit me up. I play everything, and I have a lot to say.
And look forward to return to this channel tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern time, to watch the Microsoft conference with me. I'm actually just going to be streaming it. I'm not going to be doing no live reaction or anything. It's just going to be me streaming it. I might say something here and there, but it's just to watch it. But it is what it is. Make sure you come back tomorrow. Thank you guys for tuning us for this immediate reaction of Bethesda's.
Thanks for putting this together, Smooth. That was good.
Average show.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We went straight from the stream straight into a Google Hangouts.
Seamless.
Seamlessly. All right, man. Thank you guys. Oh, as I always say, even though this is not Xbox press conference yet, but Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe, and I'm on the other side of the globe, Ted. All right, we're out.
All right.